We got ourselves Team Blue all set up. We got ourselves Tellarian as an arms warrior. Why me as an assassination rogue, putting up some crippling depression in his daggers. We got ourselves Sizz as a gladiator windwalker with a 1800 set already. That's the 1800. Funny thing is, 1800 set actually has the same color scheme as a heroic set. But he does have that big old gaping jaw mouth. That looks so good. Massia Asano. Destruction Warlock, I want to say. Ooh. Did they change the undead eyes too? That actually looks so good. That doesn't look like undead at all. What? That looks so good. Did they change their eyes? They must have changed their eyes a little, dude. Oh my god. And we got a Loopy Hunter as a BM. We also got ourselves Canny on Team Red as Arcane Mage. We got ourselves Flappy Duck as Survival. We got Fortune as a Monk. We got Catalina as a Assassination Rogue and Toasty as Affliction Warlock, trying to make a play here. And it looks like it's going to be Flappy Duck up first as a Survival Hunter versus Wying Me. Trying to see if he can stalk him out. Gonna be Flare immediately getting him out. Flappy Duck getting the dots up and running with the Serpent Sting. He's gonna get a root trap onto Wyme immediately. He's gonna try to see if he can just run away, just flap away like a duck with a disengage. That's gonna be a stun onto Wyme. Not looking. Oh man, maybe he is gonna trinket. I was thinking not looking like he was gonna trinket. But he does, and that's going to be Flappy Duck able to get Freezing Trap resets off of the Rogue every time. It's going to hit him with a bit of a Tar Trap. It's going to be a Warlock Hellstone for Wyme just to catch up a little bit on healing. Knockback check coming up for Flappy while he disengages as far as humanly possible. Trying to min-max the damage into Wyme from a distance. Hasn't been able to connect with the Survival Hunter at all. This going to Harpoon, get a shot onto Flappy. Wyme got himself a bit of a concoction. Rolling going to be advantage. Is that Flare going to get him out? It does get him out. However, if Wyme looking to get himself a little bit of reheal. The Dependers on one side, Rogue Hunters on the other. Looks like he does catch himself a full reset regardless though. Flappy Duck had himself a good opener. Send the pet over there. The pet wasn't fast enough. But it looks like the Survival Hunter is going to have to wait for this Rogue. Wyme is going to take every single second he can just to make sure he got himself a full heal. It's going to be a bit until the eyes are back up. For Flappy though, so far he's had a really good opener onto Wyme. If he can do it again without a Trinket particularly being up for Wyme, I mean he really got him. But he needs to just kite him around, maybe get a random flare sometime. It's going to be a sap onto Flappy. Looks like Wyme wants to re-engage with the Hunter. I wonder if Flappy could just get his pet to just run all base. Could the pet just randomly attack the Rogue if it walks by him? I wonder, because I think that Warlock's kind of used to do that, sorta. Like, just have the pet run around and maybe it will just randomly just tag the Rogue if it sees him. Getting medic bandage for a second for Flappy. Wyme does break it immediately. Flappy looking to get some dots into Wyme, but I think he's trying to see if he can disengage out. Going to be blind onto the pet. Flappy getting the Maledict onto Wyme. Wyme trying to go for a bit of a heal. Cheat death coming out, but the dots is still ticking. No healing available, and he does go for a feint death into a real death. Not a feint one. He just died. That is a normal death. We tried. Loopy Hunt doesn't have a camo. Just tried to see if he can sprint. And Flappy Duck looks like there's going to be traps around the corner for both of them. Looks like Freezing Trap onto Flappy's pet is going to trick it out of that stun. As Loopy actually does get the opener. Going to get a Freezing Trap onto Loopy's pet, which is quite a bit of his damage gone too. And Loopy is just looking to see maybe if he can get himself a little bit of healing off of Flappy. Flappy got himself quite a bit of a reset. It's going to be a Dire Bastard super far away. Loopy honestly would have liked to play it around the Bastard, but it looks like Flappy just going to keep aware of where that thing is. Going to be a Freezing Trap onto Flappy's pet in case he wants to go for maybe a pet sack. Going to be a slow Rachel coming out for Loopy in case he wants to get some kites. And Flappy actually getting quite a bit of damage onto the Survival Hunter. Stun onto Loopy. Maybe he'll trick it. He does go for a chicken. That's going to be a Turtle Shell out for Flappy. Does get a Freezing Trap onto Loopy Hunter's pet. Flappy is looking to see maybe if he can catch himself a reset. Medic bandages are up. Does pull his pet back. Looks like Loopy is going to get him back in combat. The pet does re-engage. Flappy looking to outrun away from Loopy. It looks like Loopy actually might stand a chance here. That's going to be a Steel Trap onto one Hunter. I think a Freezing Trap by the other Hunter. Flappy trying to see if he can get himself a little bit of reset. Looks like Exhilaration is going to be used without a Warlock House. So it looks like it is a Warlock House. So stun onto Flappy Duck doesn't have a way out. Loopy does go for a Turtle Shell, which is very unfortunate for him. Freezing Trap onto Loopy's pet. Not going to be able to do that much damage to Flappy, but at least see if he can maybe get him flared out. Flappy actually got a full reset. Flare not hitting it. Flappy got a full Manic Bandage. And I think he actually dismissed his pet. Oh no, his pet is dead. Oh, your pet fainted death. Unfortunate. Flappy does Get caught out enough there while he has a full health though. So unfortunate for Loop. He had such a good opener, but the odds from his pet with Spirit Man might still be really, really good though. Might be able to stay alive long enough. Stun coming out by Flaffy, looking to end this duel. Loopy doesn't have enough of a healing over time, and down he goes. Flaffy taking the second one out. That's actually kind of a dope ass looking mug. I'm not a huge fan of like the cuffs, like the massive, like what is it looking like? Like scales. Yeah, it's like scales on his arm, but they look cool, but look kind of cool, but like for a hunter, I feel like it doesn't fit. Freezing Trap onto Sizz as he's trying to get himself an opener. Flaffy looking just to get away from all the images. And that's going to be a Windwalker Monk. Actually, Sizz, I think actually goes into one of the traps. He actually eats a trap, which is very unfortunate for him. Having to go for Tiger's List immediately to break out of it as soon as he can, and he's going to keep himself completely dispelled from poison as best as possible. Popping a defensive with dampen harm, trying to see if he can walk a Flaffy Duck right now and maybe stay in combat for him as much as possible. Karma coming out. Flaffy going to look for the acceleration, maybe get a freezing trap onto Sizz. He does hit him with a seal trap with a tar trap to follow. Sizz looking to heal up as much as possible. That's a big defensive out of Sizz though. If Flaffy Duck can somehow find a way to live through the next onslaught of Sizz, hopefully he'll have a trigger for it. That's going to be a camo, so he's going to be able to at least catch on health. But Sizz is fully healed up as well. That is a monk with still full cooldowns available. Try to go, I think, for a mount up, but that's going to be a crucible that hits him from a corner. And it looks like Flaffy got himself some cooldowns rolling in cap onto the hunter. Does he go for a full setup? Touch that is going to happen. Does he have a trigger to get out of this one? Maybe does he have a way to get himself with a pet sack? Maybe a feign death right after stun into Sizz. Does go for a feign death as the touch of death is about to hit. Does avoid it completely. Wall is out for Sizz. The touch of death is not going to be able to do the most amount of damage. Whirlwind punching up in the air and kind of puts himself out in the open, but does have a monk port to get away. Flaffy Duck tried to go for a bit of a heal. It looks like some sort of a dot or so broke him out. Going to be ring a piece to get him out of there. As Sizz looking to catch a reset. Looks like Flaffy Duck met his match here for a moment. I really do like his weapon though. Look at that thing. It looks like you can carve into your enemy. It looks so good. Wow, the mog actually kind of fits, being all red and evil looking. It's like an evil hunter mog. That's going to be Mally rolling into Sizz. He doesn't have a karma for a little bit. Needs to find a way to live this duel against Flaffy for a moment. And needs to find a way to min-max the karma next time he gets a chance. In cap after Flaffy for a second. Does he go for a leg sweep? No! Actually has to go for a trinket versus that freezing trap. Next stun, but Flaffy could be deadly. Sizz trying to see if he can maximize the value onto Flaffy. Might want to press karma early if he's expecting for him to get stunned. Actually super low karma coming out as Flaffy goes in to close the gap. Try to get maybe a little bit of that latent poison stack cap. Then it's going to be stunned into Sizz while the karma is still up. Karma is still there for a second. Sizz does go for a bit of ring of peace just to boot Flaffy Duck out. Try to go for a PvP, and Flaffy does end up taking him out. That's a third man down. That's Sizz as a gladiator. Next up is going to be Tellarian, and I don't really know if he... I don't know what to tell you, Tellarian. I don't know what to tell you, Tellarian. I don't really know if you stand no much of a chance against Survival Hunter. But I gave you the best shot, bud. Looks like he's going to get a charge onto Flaffy. Stun to follow. There's going to be a human racial out of Flaffy. Actually, Tellarian able to get quite a bit of damage into Flaffy. Maybe a blaster to follow. Actually continue to pump damage. The blades are kind of huge into Flaffy. Actually might be able to get something rolling. Flaffy does have himself acceleration. Going to be a disarm immediately. Turtle Shell coming out as he's trying to get a manic bandage up and running. If only he had a crucible rolling onto him ahead of time, but looks like maybe Flaffy Duck may be able to go for Freezing Trap. Gonna be a trap reflect for Tellarian. Expect nothing. Charge into Flaffy Duck. Maybe next stun with a Warbreaker, he might be able to really get some damage in and close the gap. Stormbolt coming out. Does not really have a way to charge back to Flaffy. Should be able to get some damage in now. Stun into Tellarian. Chicken out of it immediately. Maybe Freezing Trap could stop him. Does have an Avatar rolling. Maybe a Blaze Storm to follow. If he has a Blaze Storm soon, does get a Warbreaker up and running. Maybe some damage getting Flaffy Duck low. Commanding Shout just to keep himself afloat just a little bit longer. Got himself Executes finally, but Flaffy Duck does close out the game with Mongoose by it. Kept it calm, cool, and collecting. Management is coming now, but Mats doesn't want to give him any opportunity to catch any reset. Looks like it's going to be camo out of the Hunter either way. Does he hit him with a rain of fire? He does not. So it looks like Flaffy actually was able to get out of the rain of fire before things really went to hell in a handbasket. Literally to hell with Mats dropping down massive infernals, chaos bolts, rains of fire. He's got the full setup ready to go. He knows exactly where the Hunter is at. So for the Hunter right now, the best opportunity is to maybe go for a dot-based build and just kite Mats around. Mats trying to land a fear, getting hit with a muzzle. It's going to be Kazball trying to come out. Actually stops the Kazball for a second. Going to be a knockback shot by Flaffy. Knocking Mats out in the open so he doesn't have any kind of line of sight. He's going to get a couple of those Mongoose bites in there while he got himself a little bit of a defensive going by the looks of it. Well, oh no, maybe it's just aspect of the eagle. It looks like survival of the fittest for a second. That's going to be Fear trying to come out from Mass. Many Bandits coming out for a Flaffy Duck for just a quick second. Chicken coming out from Mass, trying to land another Fear onto Flaffy. Is going to only be able to get Incinerate. Safety Chicken coming down. Mass needs to get himself a Horror Effect up and running right now. Maybe a stun onto Flaffy. He's going to be freezing trap off the Feigned Death as Mass try to land a Fear onto the Hunter. Mass super low in health. Flaffy is going to get him redotted back up with a Grenade Stone and everything. While for Mass right now, maybe he might be able to finally get some damage onto the Hunter now. Fear to follow with a Cannibal. No Infernal available. Does get a big damage out of it though. Flaffy is going to get a Crucible after. It's going to be a Horror Effect. Cannibal still trying to come out from Mass. Flaffy Duck is looking to land aside. It does get a land aside. Knock back onto Mass with a grenade to follow. And he actually does end up capping out that duel with a big old 1v5 as a survival hunter. I don't even know if he's running any kind of corruptions here either. But that's a big old 1v5. Lots of damage. Lots of kites. A very aggressive playstyle for Flaffy as well. The survival hunter surviving? I know, right? Survival hunter survivor. Survival survivor surviving. Oh my god. Let me see if he actually had any corruptions. No, he actually did a lot of more Mongoose Bites than some of the other survival hunters though. He went a lot more aggressive with Mongoose Bites, really just letting all the damage happen. I mean, I think majority of it are from aspect of the eagle, but still, he did get a melee for Triple Lances though. Actually, he doesn't even need melee attacks, right? It could just be like random abilities too.